everybody, and welcome back to today's episode of Purpose Chats. I'm so excited to be back. We are here. I'm here with one of my long time friends who I haven't seen in a very long time, but she is here. Welcome, Kellan.
Yes. April, thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
Of course. So tell me what you've been up to, Kellan, and tell the people what you've been up to.
Sure. So I am Kellan Newby, and I am a nervous system informed life coach. So I work with mamas, but especially Black mamas, in helping them navigate being overstimulated, living in survival mode, and working through that so they can have a regulated life.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yes, baby, we need
I'm
it.
loving it. I know. I just saw your page, and
Yes.
I was like, oh, she's doing something new. I need to figure out what's going on.
Yes.
So tell me how you got into what you're doing now, like the type of work that you're doing now.
Sure. So it all grew out of just life experience.
Okay.
So when I was going to you as a client, you know, I was pregnant, so I had my son.
Yeah.
And then 3 months postpartum, it was rough.
Really?
It was like, oh, I can't do this. Dealing with a lot of stress mentally, physically, and my nervous system was just like out of whack.
Wow.
And then he got diagnosed with autism, so that added another layer.
Yeah.
And then he was diagnosed with ADHD, so that added another layer.
Oh my goodness.
So all these things are happening, but I'm not being able to really work through those things.
Okay.
And so I figured out that what is going on with me? Like, what is stressing me out? Why am I always yelling? Why am I overstimulated? Yeah. And I was like, something is literally wrong with me, until I figured out my nervous system was out of whack. I was living in survival mode. So it kind of grew out of that knowing that something wasn't really wrong with me. My nervous system just needed a lot of help. Yeah. And so that's kind of what drew me into helping other mothers, especially Black mothers, because we don't have the resources to really understand what's going on in our bodies.
That is so true. And it's interesting because I have quite a few friends who are new moms, and they're also navigating like marriage, and they're navigating their careers and things like that, and just constantly hearing that same thing. It's a lot that goes on between like your role as a mom, your role as a your spouse, and your role as yourself. You know, so how do you feel like you navigate all of them collectively, or like has this process allowed you to strategize other ways to be able to be well?
Yeah, you know, honestly, April, it took a lot because, as you said, you're learning who you are as a mother. You lose a lot of that identity once you become a mother as yourself. Like, who am I now that I have this child? Yeah. But then on top of that, a lot of our friends are married. So then you also have to add into that fact, like I also had to do my responsibility as a partner as well, right? Yeah. And so when you figure out that you need to find a balance, and that's what the nervous system work is like. You need to be able to find a balance. You cannot always do it all. And a lot of us as Black women, we feel like we have to do it all.
Don't we? Wearing all the capes.
All the capes, right?
Off
and
the
we need to take it off.
Yeah.
Because in reality, we can't live up to what society is telling us that we need to do. So we need to vocalize to our partners saying, like, I do need help. Yeah. And then when it comes to our children, we need to mirror what we want them to eventually learn for themselves. And that's emotional regulation. Yeah. And so we have to be the ones that do the work. But it's going to be a tough balance to find in the beginning.
Ooh. I'm like on the other side of that. I'm still single. I don't have any kids. But I think it's important to talk about these things because I feel like it's a lot of stuff that people don't talk about before you get to the other side. So the women that you work with, like what spaces have you been able to like connect with them in? Or are they just people that you know, people that you work with?
Yeah, sure. So a lot of it is my friends, people that I knew. So I'm always the person that comes to and be like, Kellan, like I need advice on X, Y, and Z. And I'm like, oh, let's look at this from another lens. Like I'm happy to give you advice, but let me really backpedal a little bit and help you to understand why you're feeling this way. And then you can move forward. Yeah. So I'm literally just starting out my business and wanting to get clients to come in because I feel like it's an opportunity to not only grow within myself, but grow within our African American community as well.
That's awesome. And I'm so excited that this is a whole business. This is how long I haven't seen her, y'all. I haven't seen her.
It's been a long time.
Yeah, so we're really catching up right now.
It's really a purpose chat.
It is. So So it's interesting how life happens where you are navigating a lot of things and you find your purpose in that.
Yes.
So would you say that this is like your newfound passion, purpose, or like, because I always feel like purpose is multidimensional, and I feel like it changes, it evolves over time and things like that. So would you say that this is something you know that you're supposed to be doing?
Yes, and I'll say that because I always knew I wanted to be an entrepreneur, right? So I did like, I'm going to bake. I'm going to be a baker. I'm going to sell like banana chocolate chip loaves. Or I'm going to like do inspirational quotes on mugs and sell it. And none of that worked. Like I started and I had the desire. But with this, it's like with every bump in the road, I feel the need to keep pushing. And when you're going through something that you're passionate about and you have that purpose, when you go through bumps in the road, and you know this for yourself, opening a salon,
girl,
right? Like
it's crazy.
You had that purpose and desire regardless of the bump you had in the road or the bumps to keep pushing forward. And so I feel like with this business, it's like, you know, I hired a business coach in the beginning. It didn't necessarily work out the way I thought it was going to work out. And I was like, you know what? It's okay because I'm going to keep pushing forward. And eventually it's going to work out. And I feel like when you're moving off of purpose and passion, you have the drive to keep going despite the hiccups.
That is so true because y'all know it's been crazy, okay? No, really. And I think that's the thing that lets you know, like, I'm on the right path. Because you were just talking about the video you saw when we hung this wall up. That was our first episode, y'all. Before we recorded our first episode, this whole wall fell down. And I was like, it's always going to be something that when you're on your road to try to distract you or try to get you to not do it when you know in your heart, this is what I'm supposed to do. And it is just a different push. It's a different push to help people, to create spaces for them. For me, it was to create space for other beauty professionals to build their brands. And, you know, I went through so much over the years, from the very first shop, being in the house, from the house to the shop, back to the house, you know, and like just getting to the point where it's like, okay, I need to be able to help other people do this without hitting some of the hiccups that I hit. So is that something you feel like you do now because you've experienced some things with your child, to be able to help mothers now navigate those spaces?
Yeah, I just did a live a couple weeks ago because my son, I call him Dr. Banner because he's not asking to be on social media, but we had a really rough doctor's appointment. And so I did this live in PetSmart later in that evening, just like, I want to help neurodivergent parents. I'm feeling like, because there are resources for our children all day long, like therapies for behavior and food and feeding and all the things, but the parents aren't receiving those resources either, right? So it's, for me, I just feel like we have to look at it differently when you're in a business, that you may think that your path is going to be one way. And then all of a sudden it turns and pivots to be something else. And so we have to, when you are living in your purpose, be able to rotate and move forward to do something else.
That's true. Because that's why I say like purpose is multidimensional. Because when I first started here, like I was literally just trying to stabilize and I was trying to get everything together and all that or whatever. And I had started Purpose Over Everything in 2020, but when I started getting the stuff together for the shop, it kind of like fell to the wayside. I stopped doing purpose chats. I stopped selling apparel. I stopped everything. I was really overwhelmed. If I'm gonna be honest, I was overwhelmed. I was like, I can't do all of this, but I knew what it took for it to be successful. I'm like, okay, one thing at a time. But last year, so now, you know, this is in year 4, and I'm like, it's time for me to go back to that because I find that I get my most fulfillment when I talk to people about like figuring out what their why is and like talking about it, whether they are in it, whether they don't know it, or whether they feel like they're pivoting. And that's a pivot for me because before I'm like hair all day. And now it's like, I think I really want to talk to people about it because I feel like life is more... It's not easier. I want to say life is easier when you know your purpose, but I think, well, I won't say it's not easy. I think sometimes people think that they won't go through things even knowing their purpose. So that's probably the better thing to say. But I think it gives you a sense of direction. You know what I mean? And for those bumps in the roads, when they happen, it's like, no, this is still it. And even if there's a bump in the road that tells you to go a different way, you have to know like, okay, this is this is where I'm supposed to be.
Yeah.
And it can't be like I'm afraid to even just take this next step. And for me, that's the crazy part because I've been doing hair forever.
Uh-huh.
I know. And now I'm like, I think I want to do something else.
And for me, though, like I have to say this to your viewers, it's like
Yeah.
you are an inspiration to everybody. Because when I think about it, from the salon to the house, back to the house, to the salon, right? And you were developing purpose over everything. And I remember like you were doing hair, and you were talking about it, and we were sitting there getting the blowouts, and now I got lots.
Yes.
And it's just like you were somebody who had a vision and realized like, okay, I want to have a salon one day, but I also want to do purpose over everything. How do I combine the two? Right? And sometimes it takes us a while to figure out how can we do both?
That's true.
Right? And so even though it's taking you 4 years to pivot to come back, you figured out how to merge the two to be underneath the April Cook. As we all know, the queen, as we all know her to be. So it's like we all have to realize, like, even though we have goals and visions, sometimes we have to pivot and it all can happen at once.
Yeah.
And you got to be good at that one thing. And then move on to be good at something else.
Yeah. I always tell people, like, sometimes, like you just said, literally, one thing, I used to be like, one thing at a time. Focus on one thing at a time. And once that thing is flourishing or doing whatever it's doing, and it's time for you to go into your next thing, it's just time for you to move.
Yes.
And it's okay to feel like, okay, maybe I'm, like, how people say, like, I've turned 50 and I'm like, I want to do something completely different. I want to change my career. Whereas, some people will be thinking about retirement. It's like, no, this is in my heart to do, and this is something that I want to do, and these are the people that I want to help.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Because I always say, like, purpose isn't just for you. It's, you found your thing when you're helping other people. You know what I mean? Like, be better, navigate, especially if you have the tools to. And you give it away for free at first. Like you were saying, your friends were coming to you, asking you for advice and this and that. And you're like, yeah, this is what I need to be doing.
Yes.
Yeah. I love it.
We used to sit in your salon and get your advice. I remember I was like, oh yeah, I think I want to do event planning. You'd be like, okay, girl, let's talk about it. Let's figure it out. You've always been that individual with your clients when we came to you and be like, this is what, and it's always grounded around purpose. It's always been, what is your desire? And so now you have these purpose chats and we can talk about what our desires are.
Yeah. And I love that because, and it's crazy that you say that because I'm like, sometimes, like I was just saying, I get nervous. I still get nervous. I'm human, y'all. We sit on this couch, we chit chat, whatever. But I had to think, like, I've been doing this from the chair for a long time before we came to the couch. You know what I mean?
For a long time.
So that's always been my goal, is to help people figure out what inspires them, what makes them happy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? What brings them joy, because we spend a lot of time doing work. A lot of time doing work. But is it meaningful?
Yeah.
Is it giving us a sense of purpose? Is it directing us? So that's what I always think. But back to you.
Yeah.
So now tell me a little bit about the type of workshops that do you do workshops? Do you meet with people one-on-one? Tell the viewers how you literally help the people. If they wanted to, let's say somebody wanted to come to you and they wanted to work with you, how would they go about setting up an appointment with you?
Sure. So you would go to my website. My name is pretty long, so it's KellanNewbyMatthews.com. And you will fill out a consultation form. And so based off of that form, right now I'm only doing one-on-one clients, but I'm hoping that in early spring I am going to do a cohort for Black mamas who are dealing with overstimulation. I feel like we are dealing with so much from the layers of society and cultural and emotional. We just need help as a community. And I think one-on-one clients are great. I do love working with people one-on-one, but I feel like when you're in a sense of community, you grow from dealing with others and helping others. And you invest in not only yourself, but also giving back to the African-American community, which I think is key for me.
Yes, community is important.
It's important.
And a lot of times people feel like they're going through things by themselves, or they feel like no one else is going through those things at all. So to be able to identify the people who are going through it and then say, hey, you're not in this by yourself, and this is how you regulate. I love that.
And I think back about when your friends, when they're becoming moms, it's like and they're dealing with the postpartum, you feel like you're the only one dealing with that, right?
Yeah.
And I had a friend who had a baby, and she reached out to me and was like, how was your postpartum experience? And I'm thinking like, wow, like why aren't we reaching back and helping other people? I mean, there are organizations out here who are doing exactly that, but I feel like we need to strengthen our bonds and help, because other people that do not look like us are always reaching back and helping other people, but we're not doing that for our people.
Yeah. That's so important. It's so important for people to feel like they even have the resources.
Yes.
It's been so long where people didn't feel like they had the resources, they didn't know where to go, but the resources are there. You just got to know about them. So you got to ask about them. You do.
Absolutely.
So let me ask you this. What would you tell someone who is on their journey of figuring out their why through life? Like you started off by saying that you came to this point because of the things that you were experiencing. But in that you figured out that this was something that you were supposed to do. How would you tell somebody, or what would you tell somebody to do who is going through life, just in general? I mean, it could be dealing with anything, and they're trying to figure out their why. Like, where would you tell them to start?
Honestly, I'll tell them to slow down a little bit. We are in a digital age where everything is at our palms. It does not matter what it is, it's at our hands. And so we get AI, ChatGPT, Google it, Instagram. And so slow down just a little bit and figure out what you want and what brings you the most desire. And then I feel like when you have purpose and passion, that is allowing you to serve.
Yeah.
And so what is it that's going to allow you to serve?
Yes.
At the same time, like put down the phone, do some journaling, and have some time to self-reflect. Yeah. Because when we think about it, we are so inundated with so many things naturally through social media that we can be coming, oh, I want to do this, but I see this rock star is doing it, and she has 20,000 followers and she's making 100 million, and like all the things, right? And we lose sight of that. So that's what I'm saying, like slow down, put the phone down, and really do some journaling to connect with yourself to figure out what is it that I want, what brings me, what serves me, what makes me happy.
Yes, y'all hear it? Slow down. Slow down a little bit. It's interesting because the phones are at our fingertips. There's so much information. The scroll and everything is like right there. So if you don't slow down, you will get consumed in it. You will get consumed. And I think that there is this quiet place, like you said, you have to just find where you are connecting with yourself. And you're like, who am I?
Yeah, I literally just did a post about this, figuring like motherhood identity and figuring out who you are.
Wow.
On social media. And I feel like we as mothers, and even as Black women in general, we lose who we are, right? And so because we're always on the rush, always on the go, I got to get to this appointment, I have to do this. And so we never really just sit with ourselves. And so in the post, I'm telling people, like, even if you got to sit in a corner, sit in your car for 5 minutes to really think, what is it that I want? What is it that I need? You know, I think it's key. I think we're so on the go, and that's really causing us to stop having our own purpose and beliefs in ourselves, is that we're doing for other people but not doing for ourselves.
I think that's so interesting, because I was just talking with one of my friends about how a lot of times we find our identity in the things that we do and not like who we really are. Like if you strip all of these hats and these capes and these titles and like, who am I? So I just had that conversation because I was like, at the heart of it all, I've always been a creative. I have been a creative, like before the business and here, like I've always been into the arts.
I remember in high school.
You know what I mean?
I ain't even gonna do it to you, but I remember, go back in that
day. Y'all.
But you were creative and expressing yourself then.
Exactly. And so it's just interesting at that age.
I didn't mean to do it to you, but it was coming. You said home, it was gonna come.
What my freedom of expression looked like back then, it was more outward. Y'all wore all the crazy eyeshadows and the
hair colors,
and I did all the things. Okay. But, I've always loved music and I've loved
Mm-hmm.
the arts and I've loved talking to people and I've loved just picking people's brains and cooking and this and that. So it doesn't surprise me that I went into hair. I mean, like
Yes.
it was something where I could be like, oh, I could physically make people feel better,
Yeah.
but I could talk to them while I'm doing it, right? And it just kind of transforms. But like when you take all of that stuff away, who are you?
Mm-hmm.
And I think when you think about who you are, that's how you get to why you are.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
So, yeah, this was so
It was
good. Listen.
So when I talked a little bit about earlier about the business coach, right? So I
Mm-hmm.
hired this business coach and she looked nothing like me,
Mm-hmm.
right? And she's talking about like niching, finding your niche. It's like, how did you want to build clients? And it's great. And so I was like, I want my niche to be Black moms. And well, what about Black moms? And then it was like all about mindset. Cause I was like, oh, our mindset, we dealing with things culturally in society. Like that was before I decided to really deep into the nervous system work. And so I struggle going back and forth with niching down because you have this subset of moms, but then if you dig it down further, it's Black moms. And so Sierra was like, you should talk to April about that and ask her what her opinion is. Like, should you just do, moms or should you do Black moms? And I feel like I don't want to become an individual who I want to support our community. And if it means slow growth to do that, then I respect the slow growth to do that.
Yeah. There's nothing wrong with starting slow.
Yeah.
I remember my old internship, the director, she used to be like, just start small. She's like, start small and grow. Like, and so it's the same thing. Like, start with a couple people and then and those people will bring new people and then those people, and you'll be in front of different audiences.
Right.
But it's important to like stay authentic to who you are. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you really have to stay authentic to who you are.
It's a struggle because I'm like, yes, you want clients, but at the end of the day, it's like, what are you giving up of yourself to get a client? And for me, I'm not willing to sacrifice my Black community just to get a client.
Yeah.
And so if that means that I won't have an official cohort of Black mamas in 2020 until 2027, then so be it, right? So that's for me, it's like very important to stay, like you said, true to yourself.
Yeah, it is. It is. And you just gotta chop away at it a little bit by little.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's nothing, I don't know. I just feel like it's always good to be authentic. And they always say, like, if you're marketing to everybody, you're marketing to nobody. No one.
Yeah.
So I think it's important to be able to be like, these are my people. Like for me, I feel like my people, when I first started, was like beauty professional. Oh, I'm going to help beauty professionals build their brands, whatever, which is what the suites is for, right? But I love talking to everybody. And I think my niche is just those people who are right in the beginning, or they're like making really, they're trying to like get things set up. Like those are my people. They might have an idea, but they don't really know how to like put it together.
Yeah.
Right. So I think that's just always been my thing. So.
And you pivoted because you said in the beginning you talked about like wanting to help beauty professionals, and then you're like, well, let me help the individuals that are just starting out who have an idea, who has a dream, but they don't have a plan. Yeah.
What was that?
No, don't do it. Don't do
a dream without a plan.
It's just a
something.
Just a thought. Just a. Where's she at now? Miss Gibbons? Was it Miss Gibbons?
I think it was.
Miss Gibbons, if you still alive, please let us know what it is. Like, or somebody from City Class 07 and let us know what she used to say, because that should be grounded in us.
We said it like all the time. It was like a dream without a plan is only
just a goal.
Something like that.
Yeah, I think that's what it is.
Make all your dreams.
You should put that on a t-shirt or something like that. Say like, purpose over everything. Thank you, Miss Gibbons. Like, April cooked and stove. Right, every class that she ever been a guidance counselor with heard the same thing. Oh my goodness, time is like flown by.
Girl, I was just talking. My niece is graduating.
No, she's not.
In May. I'm so done. And she was born our freshman year of college.
That's crazy.
She's 18. I know. So yes, time has flown by.
18, April.
18.
I mean, we getting old.
Girl,
Or just getting young. What is it?
Younger.
Age in the reverse.
And aligned.
Yeah, in alignment.
And fulfilled.
Yes.
Okay. That's what we're doing. Oh, yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
So what's next for you? Because I know, I didn't watch the post and you trying to figure out what's next for you.
You know what's crazy? I'm still trying to figure that out.
Okay.
It's the beginning of the year. I know this year I said this was my personal year.
Okay.
This is a personal me year. Because I feel like in the past couple of years, I've always been business. Business has been business. I haven't even had time to come up for air. And now, like I said, I've been like, well, who are you? Who are you outside of all of this? The things they're flowing now, okay? What do you want to do? I think I said, it's time for me to stabilize within myself.
Okay.
Like, it's time for me for a new space and, you know, just thinking about some other things that I want.
Okay.
It's time for me to even create space for life. I feel like, you know, within the past couple of years, we lost quite a few family members, and it really puts perspective, put things in perspective for you. And so I have been like, that's why I've really been thinking like, well, what kind of life do you want to live?
Yeah.
You know, while doing the work and therapy and all of that stuff like that. But it really makes you think about the life that you want to live. And so for me, I know that it's important for me to do this work.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Sit and talk with people. And I really want to get in front of more people who don't know their why, so that I can bring other people who do know their why with people who don't know their why.
Right.
Maybe I'm bringing you with other moms who are trying to figure out life.
Okay.
And, you know, going into spaces where I really want to be able to, like, go in the space while the people are fulfilling their purpose, right? Like, maybe I wouldn't be able to sit in a one-on-one session with you, but when you are doing your cohort, I can come in behind the scenes. Like, that's the kind of stuff I really want to do. Yeah, like just being it, watching people do their thing.
Yeah.
I was talking to my brother-in-law. He's supposed to be on one of these soon, but he is a sound engineer, and he was like, would you ever come to one of my gigs and I'm like, yeah, I would love to see the soundboards and like how you maneuver and all of that stuff. So it's just, yeah.
Okay.
That's the space I'm going into. I don't really know all of the ins and outs of it yet.
Okay.
I'm navigating it one day at a time, just like the rest of everybody. You know what I mean? But so yeah, and like, I don't know what that's going to bring outside of, you know, this. I still enjoy music. I still enjoy the arts. Would I get back to like singing? I don't know. They had this challenge. Well, I don't think it's really a challenge. It was on social media. It was like 10 years. What were you doing in 2016 or something like that, right? And I went back and I looked, and all these videos of singing with sidebar and playing guitar and stuff. Y'all do a little bit of everything. But like, I haven't done that in a while.
Writing music.
I haven't done any of that. And it's crazy because music, I think as a creative, you just have to be in that space.
Yes.
Because music is, I don't know, when I used to drive, I would just hear melodies come to me, and I would record it, right? I record the melody, and when I get home later, I would like write words to it and stuff like that. But I haven't done, and I don't even feel like I've been in a space. Like, I feel like you have to be in a specific space to be able to do that. And so, yeah, I'm still figuring it out too. Yeah.
It's crazy to sit back and be like, April Cook, what is she about to do now, right? Like, again, because like when I used to see you back in the day, it was like, I'm playing the guitar, I got sidebar, I got this thing I really want to do called Purpose Over Everything, and I'm trying to figure that out.
Yeah.
Like, you were doing it all.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And so it was like when you said you became burnt out, and so you had to figure out what was going to be your main focus. And now that it's flowing and it's thriving, what's next? What is next? That's all I'm like, what is next for you?
I don't know.
It's okay to figure it out.
Yeah, because it's like, you know how you can be so busy with a bunch of things, and then you have to like slow down. Like, I don't want to do all of these things. But what brings me joy? Like, maybe this is the thing that brings me money. This is the things that bring me like joy and creative freedom and stuff like that. Like right now, I'm really just trying to, from a business standpoint, I'm trying to be financially free to a point where I don't have to work as hard behind the chair. You know, I did 12 plus hours for years. This is my first year changing my hours. I know some of my clients wasn't happy, but I had to do what I needed to do for myself because for so long I've been doing this. And I remember my dad told me years ago, he was like, if you was open 7 days a week, people would be there 7 days a week. And I was like, you're right.
And they need to bring that food in here.
Yeah.
Because he used to come down and cook some good food for me.
He did.
Doing no appointment. Come on, Papa, bring some food back in here. Yes. But no, don't do that because then they will be backing outside and won't be leaving her alone. So don't bring the food in here. But the food was good back in the day. I'm not even going to lie.
It was.
Yes. But I think it's okay. And I think helping your audience to understand, like, you're going to find the thing that's going to motivate you, and that's going to be the thing that's going to bring you financial advantages, right? And at the same time, when you get to a steady point, it's okay to fill your cup.
Yes.
But I think sometimes we miss the point of filling our cup while we're trying to make those financial advantages.
Girl, you are saying something.
Because we're like, we're on a go. We're going to get this dollar. But then we're forgetting to pour ourselves back in.
Yeah.
Because then we're not pulling into our business.
Yeah.
Right? So, I mean, it's a struggle. I mean, we're all trying to figure it out. We're trying to be partners, be mothers, and find spouses or not find spouses or have a pet, not have a pet, right? All the different roles that we, all the different roles.
I don't know what's going on. It's 2026. Anyways.
Get her, y'all. Snatch her up. April Cut, snatch her up.
I'm so done.
She's a good one, y'all. I'm telling you.
Man.
But no, I just think it's hard. It's really hard. And I think you being an individual, having these opportunities called purpose chats, you know, but I think for me, I'm like, this is what people need.
Yeah.
Even the entrepreneurs that are not in the beauty space need someone to push them forward to give them the motivation, because it's so easy to get deflated when you're feeling like it's not coming together the way you thought it was going to come together. Now, we all feel like God has a plan.
Okay.
But we get so deflated. We're like, oh my goodness, it's not coming together. Oh, I lost 10 more followers and I'm not understanding why my retention rate is so, like, all the things.
Why aren't people booking? Why aren't people buying? Why aren't, you know?
Yeah. So hearing you tell your story.
Yeah. Because it's been a journey. It's been a journey. And I know that I do it with a smile a lot of times, but there have been some ugly tears behind this journey. Sometimes where I question myself, where I question God. I'm like, you gave me this vision. Is this what I'm supposed to do? Are these the people that I'm supposed to help? Why aren't things coming together?
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Like, yes. I'm in constant prayer asking the same thing, Lord. Like, Lord, this is what I'm supposed to do. Why is it taking so long? Why is it not coming together? And I got to remember, my vision and my thoughts are not God's thoughts.
That part.
Right? And it's so quickly for me to be like, oh my goodness, like I thought I'd be here by now. And it's like, whoa, maybe it's a reason that things are not coming together how you thought it was going to come together.
That's a word. That's a word that I'm going to take to because I've been there. I have been there where I'm like, okay, this isn't coming. I thought that by now, how many times have y'all said that? I thought by now I would be doing whatever.
Or the shoulda, coulda.
Yeah.
What is, and then you're not. And it's not happening.
No, it's not. But I think that there's a lot of like growth and development in that time where we don't necessarily see it in that time. We usually see it after the fact. You know, it's like, oh, I had to go through this to get to this. And then it'll be months, maybe years later, you're like, oh, that's why that had to. Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's necessary. It was necessary for you to be able to do whatever it is that you're doing now. But a lot of times we just want this cakewalk. We want to be easy. Sometimes I just want to come up for air a little bit. You know, like, is it so much to want to come up for air?
No.
Breathe.
Baby. And I think it's also, I think you have the individuals who we hustle. You hustled.
Yeah.
And you didn't come up for air.
I didn't come up for air.
At all.
I know.
And so, but you got those individuals who also want it to be easy and they don't want to hustle.
Yeah. They just want to come.
Yeah.
I think that's the thing with like the way that social media is set up now, because everybody sees this like get rich now, or like this, your business has all of these people following you and all this, but it's a slow process. Sometimes it takes years. It takes building.
Yes. That trust for people to understand. Because, like, okay, yeah, you can have a community internally, friends, close family members who see you are having this business, right? But you're like, I want to branch out and make my community larger. And then you see these influencers, they'll be like, oh my goodness, you're way behind because you don't have what I have, right? And so it just becomes this thing.
That's ridiculous, actually.
It becomes this thing, and it can weigh on you mentally, right? And that's not cool. But sometimes we do get twisted into the social media game of feeling of comparison.
Yeah.
That why am I not here? But sometimes we need to realize we don't know their struggle and how they got to where they are.
Exactly. You know nothing except for what they show you, what they post, and that's it.
Yeah.
We have no idea, like, the things that people go through. I know there was a couple that everybody, like a big social media couple, I can't think of their names, but everybody was like, oh, I want to be like this couple and da-da-da-da-da. And I think they're like separated.
She's filed for divorce.
Yeah. And I was like, but from the pictures, you would never know that they were going through or dealing with anything. And not to say, like, but that's the reason why you can't just go off a comparison of what you see, because you don't know what's going on behind the scenes.
Yeah, I mean, he was cooking up and she was having fun and they got their boys, and you think all is good until you get this TMZ news that she filed for divorce. And so it's a good reminder for us that what we see is just what they want to put out. And everybody wants to put out the grit, the grind, the struggle. Like, you put out the grit, the grind, the struggle when you had to halt putting the sweets down. You know what I'm saying? Like, just be honest, right? Like, not everybody is that honest with how their journey is. Not everybody. And so we have the individuals, people want to go for the individuals that already automatically have the win instead of the individual who's showing you this is the blueprint and it's not easy. They don't, that's what it is.
It's not easy. And I remember I was like, oh my gosh. So when I was going through, like, the funding process for here, and I had to stop construction because we ain't had no money, y'all. We ain't had no money to finish construction. I pitched to investors. I did crowdfunding through Indiegogo. I was doing everything. Literally. And still grinding, still doing hair for 12 hours a day. Still, like, planning everything. And I'm like, I hope this come together.
And look at us now, right? But I'm saying, but you put that out there, right? On social media. You was like, look, this is what's happening. I gotta halt this. I feel bad. This is my dream. Help me put this to come together. And it came together. But not everybody wants to be that vulnerable. On social media.
But I think that if you have a platform. And you have people who believe in your dream, or they believe in what you're working on or whatever, then when you tell your story and they know you, they're gonna support. You know what I mean? They're gonna help you get to it. And I think that's the thing that I've learned throughout all of this. I mean, from one shop to the house, from one house to the other house, your people are gonna follow you if you create.
Oh, because you was nervous. Remember that?
Oh, I was big nervous.
Like, oh my God, nobody's gonna come to the baby. We coming to the house. We don't care how far the house is. We coming to the house, okay?
And I'm grateful.
Yeah, we came through.
I'm grateful because girl, yes, you know, you know, it's been a journey, and I think it's good sometimes to see how far you've come and, like, to pause.
Do you do a reflection?
Okay. Reflect on, like, everything. And so, because you know how you get to one space and you'll be like, oh, it's time for me to do the next thing. And I think sometimes it's just good for you to just pause and to just be and to just see how far you've come and to see the people that you've connected with, and, like, the dreams that you had 5 years ago that you're actually living in. You know what I mean? So, yeah, girl.
And have an opportunity to celebrate yourself. Because we move on so quickly. Like, oh, I conquered this thing. We don't have an opportunity to just sit down and be like, yeah, I did that. That's a win. Because 5 years ago, I prayed for this. I wrote this in my journal. I did reflection. Now I'm living in it. Let me celebrate that win.
What does reflection look like for you?
Oh, man. Reflection for me is literally having an opportunity to meditate. and sitting in a quiet space. I will tell anybody that I need, in order to reflect, be in a quiet space.
Yeah.
Because a lot of noise, I get overstimulated pretty quickly. I'm not going to deny that at all.
Yeah.
And so when I'm sitting down in a quiet space, I also have a journal and I'm writing things out. How my day was.
Yeah.
And I start off typically sometimes with reflection questions that I know I need to answer at the end of the day.
Oh, wow.
Because it helps me to look at it from a different point of view. Because sometimes you don't want to get up and do what you want to do, especially when you are an entrepreneur and you're working for someone else while you're building your dream.
Yeah.
Right? And so you get lost in the sauce of, oh, I'm pouring into this company, but I'm not pouring into myself. So sometimes we need to rearrange and fix that, make a reframe. And so sometimes I start with that in the morning, knowing like, if I can get up before my son, I write down some questions that's going to help me get through the day.
Yeah.
Like, what brought you joy? What did you do for yourself today? Right? Like, how did you put your business first, top of hand? Because you're, as I'm saying, you're working for somebody else.
Yeah.
You can't always, you clock in at 5th shift after doing everything else.
Yeah.
What are you going to do for yourself when you get home and you're clocking in at 10:30 at night? Even if it's 30 minutes, right? So for me, that's reflection, is like starting off of the day with 3 things I want to focus on, writing some questions, and then coming down at the end of the night when my son is in bed, or even going in the car and writing those things out. Is reflection for me. How do you reflect?
That's refreshing. I just sit in quiet and I think a lot of times. I think in the morning and then sometimes in the evening. Sometimes the evening I'll have like light music.
Okay.
But a lot of the times I just need to just be still and be quiet. Nothing. No
silence.
Silence is really golden because it gives you a chance to like hear yourself, your thoughts, your inner feelings, everything like that. And it's funny you talk about journaling because I literally just pulled out my journal. I haven't pulled that journal out in a very long time. And I pulled it out this morning and I was writing in it because I was like, I think it's time for me to process some things. I think it's time for me to like reflect on some things. Yeah. So I literally did that this morning.
Good.
Yeah.
Because it's a way for you, like you talk about doing the work and going to your therapist, but it's also, I like to tell people, what are you doing outside of a coaching session? What are you doing outside of therapy, right? And so you think of, you got to eat right and you got to make sure you're going to sleep and take your vitamins. But outside of that hour, you have 23 other hours when you're not seeing a therapist or a coach.
Yeah.
So how are you taking care of your mind, body, and spirit those other 23 hours?
That's real. That's real. And that's something that I put on my vision board, like do something for it. And I put mind, body, and spirit every day. I don't know that I do it every day, but I literally try to think about being intentional and do it, or try to plan to do it. Because like you said, you do so many things throughout the day. But for me, I'm juggling so many things. So it's like, at the end of the day, what do I need to feel me?
Yeah.
And again, that's been something that has helped me navigate like relationships and just like in general, like familial, romantic, whatever, like friendships or whatever. It's like, I've always been able to like pour. And I think recently I've just been realizing how much I need to pour back into myself first. Make sure that my cup is full and I'm giving from my overflow.
Yeah.
Because before I used to give from a half empty cup and I look back and I'd be like, ain't nothing in this cup. There's nothing.
It's dry, girl. It's dry.
And you're depleted.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So, yeah. Reflection is important.
It's important. It's key. And I think when we are moving through life and we want to be, like you always want to serve. That has always been your thing, is to be in service.
Yeah.
And so when you're not pouring into yourself, you can't pour into anybody else, April.
Yeah.
Right? And realistically, we can't. Like, we feel like we can do it all, but in reality, we can't. Something falls to the wayside. When we're doing one thing great, something else is not doing too hot if we're not pouring into ourselves.
Yeah. So important. This is great. This has been great.
Like a therapy session all over again.
I was like, because you just think about it. You're like, wow, there's so many things that we do for other people. So many things we do for other people. And it's like, is this getting me to like where I need to be to be fulfilled?
Yeah.
To be happy, to feel joy,
I
to
tell
feel
people all the time,
purposeful.
no is the complete sentence.
Yeah.
And so if you feel like you have to constantly pour into someone else, but you're not pouring into yourself, you can set that boundary and say no.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because if you don't set the boundary, you're going to be depleted.
Yeah, and then I just said this, like, takers love givers.
Yes, baby. I want to give you everything, but they don't want to give you nothing back.
They don't want to give you nothing back.
Yeah.
Sometimes they don't even have the capacity to give you anything back.
And that's okay.
And that's okay.
Right?
Yeah. But you have to set the boundary.
Yes.
And you have to set the tone for it as well.
I'm not doing it.
You know.
No.
So, girl.
Look at this. This went over the time.
I know. But this was great.
Good. This was
so,
good.
Yes,
Thank you again for having
Thank
me.
you. Of course.
Yes.
It was so good. See you guys.